I think every young boy grew up watching Transformer cartoons. I mean...
Oh, I remember taking my Transformer toys into the sandbox, and then the sand got all into little moving parts, and you couldn't transform them anymore. Yeah. It's very disappointing. But
I took care of my Transformer toys, and they could always transform. But some of us, you know, it speaks a lot about our different relationships.
Being a staple in my Saturday morning cartoons.
Saturday morning cartoons, that was the best. Yeah. So yeah, we definitely were very familiar with Transformers since a young age. We were in the middle of a tour. I think we were in Boston at the time, and our manager came in right before show, and he said, "Hey, Michael Bay wants to jump on a Skype call with you guys and talk with you about possibly working on the next Transformers movie." So we jumped on Skype, and Michael said, hey, you know, he said, "Hey guys, you know, I know you're really busy," and we were really going to get on that call just to say, let's work together in the future, but we want to, you know, we'd never want to rush something. We wouldn't want to give someone a poor product, and we just felt like we had no time physically to be able to create a song, but we thought we'd at least meet with Michael. So we got on the call, and he said, "Listen, let me just tell you a story. Let me tell you what my vision is. And if you have time for it, it's great. If not, no worries, you know." And so there was no pressure, and he kind of just told us the story, showed us a few small clips, and it was funny because literally during that conversation, as he was telling the story, I had a melody that just came into my head, which doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes songs take forever. Sometimes some songs write themselves overnight. But I had this melody that came into my head from what he was saying, and the passion behind it, and the emotion in the story, and the few small clips I saw. We literally were in a car together right after that. I pulled out my phone and recorded this melody, and and showed it to the guys, and they said, "Well, let's expand it." So that night, sitting in the green room right before the show,
yeah, we had a show that night, by the way.
We started working on this song. Wayne brought in his guitar. You know, we were doing electronic drums and starting the like we just had this idea, and it just really wrote itself so organically and quickly. Michael didn't even say, "I want it to sound like this" or anything. He said, "You know, I like your work. Just see if this inspires you," and it did. And it was really incredible how quickly it came together. And otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. You know, it was just really very organically, and it just came together so organically. Yeah.
Sometimes writing a piece of music's like putting together a puzzle, and it can be challenging, and you work with it, and we've had those kinds of experiences. But sometimes it's just super easy, and it seems like, I don't know, it was kind of that way with like Radioactive and a couple other songs. It just happens really quickly and organically.
Yeah, not that we felt pressured, but you know, I think we might have felt maybe a little nervous at first going into it, just because we haven't written a song. We've written songs for movies, but we haven't like scored anything this way, this in depth. So I think when it started working out really easily, we were really relieved and suddenly realized this was an exciting, really fun thing we were doing.
It's almost like, yeah, if we knew if it didn't work out, then it wouldn't work out. So it was almost like less pressure, because, you know, it wasn't like we have to do this. It was like, you have a chance to do this, and maybe it'll work out. So it was sort of hopeful and just sort of free. We felt free doing it.
I think honestly, I will say a lot of the inspiration also came from him saying, you know, I'm working with Hans Zimmer and Steve Jablonsky, who to us are legends, and I really do think even when I was creating that melody in my head, as simple as a melody it was probably also inspired by the work of Hans Zimmer and Steve Jablonsky and the way they create, and I was just hearing kind of probably all their scores going through my head and hearing this story, and and then weaving in Imagine Dragons, and all of those things kind of came together to create Battle Cry. Thematically, there's a line in it that I kind of feel like is the theme of the song, and it says, "Stars are only visible in darkness." It's a fairly simple line, and the meaning behind it is, to me, is really your darkest, your flaws, your imperfections, your scars. Those are the things that really turn someone into a powerful force. Those are the things that make you, you know, not only an individual and unique, but those are the things that actually make you successful, in my eyes, in my own life.
It was really a lot more of collaborating with Steve Jablonsky and Hans Zimmer. We went into their studio, and it was just like a jam session. It was like getting together with some friends after high school and just creating music for fun. We had some scenes from the movie up on the screen, and we were just kind of playing along with them. Anything that popped into our heads, it was just a day of saying yes to every idea and trying it out until we got it to a point or dismissed it and moved on to the next one. But after we created this content, Steve was able to take it and, put a little bit of his magic on it and take it and massage it into certain scenes throughout the movie. It was really amazing when we got to see the movie for the first time last night, to see how much of the music he took and actually used all throughout it.
And how he did it. Like the way he presented all the thematic material is just genius. The way he doesn't overwhelm you with too many ideas, and the way those themes actually start to interact with characters or situations. And I mean, Steve just did an amazing job.
Yeah, there's craftsmanship in Steve Jablonsky's scoring.
We had always had an interest in film scoring. I mean, Potsman, his major was film scoring.
Yeah, I was a film scoring major in music
So,
school.
even coming into it, we were all excited about it. And I think after doing it, we had such a great time doing it. There's no doubt in my mind that when the opportunity arises, we'll take it to continue to score in any way we can. We love it. It's just another outlet as an artist to create and to be part of something bigger than you. We really had no idea going into it what we were going to see, because like I said, we just saw some clips, and created from there, and the story that Michael had told. We were blown away by, first and foremost, I think, the effects are incredible, like as cutting edge as I've ever seen. When I was wearing these big 3D glasses sitting in the middle of the theater, it really was incredible. I think that they did a really great job, making an action-packed film that fans of Transformers will be thrilled by.
If you like Michael Bay, non-stop action, explosions, just visually everything that you could, see on a screen, I think that Transformers is going to really, satisfy everything that you could want.
Yeah, one of the reasons I love Michael Bay is because he knew we were going to see the movie yesterday, so he's like, oh, well, you can't just see it in a theater. You got to see it in an IMAX theater, and it's got to be 3D. Obviously, it's got to be the best theater in Hong Kong. So he definitely wanted to blow us away, and he did.
I think this is a different Transformers movie than any of the other ones, and it definitely offers a lot of special new things.